everyone, it's Nicole here and welcome back to Boching Up Macrame. In today's tutorial, we will be going over a DIY baby mobile. So some of you may know that I am currently pregnant, and after looking through so many different baby items and figuring out what I need and what I don't need, I realized that there are a lot of baby items that I can actually DIY or make myself using macrame. Not only do I like the look of macrame items, you guys should already know that I'm all about macrame, but it's also practical and saves a ton of money by DIYing yourself. There are a ton of baby items that you can DIY. As a part of my macrame baby series, we've already made a macrame baby pacifier clip and a macrame baby storage basket. In today's tutorial, we will be going over a macrame baby mobile, and what's to come is a macrame baby gym and a large macrame baby canopy. Some of these tutorials are only available through our exclusive macrame community on Patreon, and if you guys don't know what that is, it's a platform where I release an additional video tutorial or ebook on a weekly basis, and that is tailored to those who are beginner level who are looking to advance their macrame skill set to intermediate and advanced levels, and to eventually creating your own stunning macrame designs. So within Patreon, we do have a theme on a monthly basis. For the month of March 2021, we will be going over chandeliers and everything about it. So this baby mobile that I am releasing today is similar to some of the mobiles and chandeliers and lanterns that we are making. We generally do go through more advanced and intricate knotting patterns, and we also walk through in more detail, step by step, on how to create your own designs for that particular project. If you guys are interested, check out the link in the video description below. So in today's tutorial, we will be incorporating several add-ons to make the baby mobile. So by add-ons, I mean sequins, beads, feathers, and also macrame add-ons such as tassels and macrame pom-poms. I wanted to incorporate a bunny ear design on the baby mobile, so that's what I did. I added bunny ears onto the ring, and then I also included pom-poms on the bunny tail to give it a little bit more texture. I would say the trickiest part of the pattern is attaching the ears back onto the ring once the square knot pattern for the ears are complete. So make sure you pay attention to that part, since that can get a little tricky. Once you have mastered one bunny ear and tail section, you just have to repeat that 5 more times around the ring to complete the baby mobile. Right after this intro, I will show you guys the suggested cord lengths and the materials that I have used in the tutorial. I've also pasted that information in the description below and linked to where I got those supplies from. And with that, let's begin. For this pattern, we're actually going to be using several materials and supplies. Some of these may be optional to use, such as the beads, sequins, and feathers, depending on how you wanted to style your baby mobile. So the main macrame part of the pattern is made with 3mm single strand cotton cord from our foundation cord line. This is a super soft single strand cotton cord. Not only is it soft, but it is also sturdy to work with, which makes it great for beginners who are just starting out with macrame. We will also be incorporating several other colors into the pattern for the pom-poms and tassels. Right here I am comparing a natural cord from our foundation cord line on the left, and then on the right it's a natural cord from our rainbow cord line. Our rainbow cord line is made with 100% recycled materials, making it super eco-friendly. It is not as soft as our foundation cord line, but the great thing about it is that it is also sturdy to work with, making it easy to macrame with. From left to right for the rainbow cord, we have natural, buttermilk, silver fox, and a rose pink color on the right. Instead of cutting the smaller cords for the pom-poms, if you have leftover scraps from these colors or from whatever colors you want to use as your pom-poms for your pattern, then you can definitely use those. I incorporated beads into various parts of the pattern. I used these small beads for the middle section, and then I used some larger beads with bigger holes just above the tassels on the sides. I will also be incorporating some sequins as a part of the middle section of the baby mobile. And then with that middle section, I will also be incorporating some feathers. To make the hanger of the baby mobile, I will be using some embroidery thread. You can use 1mm or 2mm string for that part as well. And most importantly, you will need a ring of some sort. I am choosing to use an 8-inch wooden ring for this pattern. Here I would like to show you guys my original sketch of the design that I was planning to make. As you can see, I have the bunny ear sections with the pom-poms and the hanging tassels on the sides, but I had originally wanted to have more feathers on the outside rather than in the middle. But then after I finished all of the bunny ear tassels, I realized that it didn't look as good with the feathers on the outside, so I just added a single feather string pattern on the inside of the pattern. I always recommend sketching out and planning out your design before you start making it, even though your design might change later on. It is still good practice to sketch out a design and think about what you're going to make before you try to make it. To start the pattern, we're going to take one strand of cord at 150 centimeters long, and we're going to make a lark's head knot by folding the cord in half onto the ring. You can see that my lark's head knots are upside down, and that's because we're making the bunny ears by attaching them onto the lark's head knot facing upwards first, and then making a bunch of square knots and then curving that pattern back down to the ring. Attach a second lark's head knot right beside it. Then with the 4 cords, we're going to make 4 consecutive square knots using the outer left and right cords as working cords. Make 4 square knots. Once we're done our 4 consecutive square knots, we're going to continue with some more square knots, but this time we're going to switch the working cords with the anchor cords. Taking the working cords, so the outer left and right cords that we were using for the previous square knots, place them in the center as anchor cords now, and take the previous anchor cords and move them outside and use those as working cords for 5 consecutive square knots now. Switching up the cords this way will cause the pattern to bend the other way, which is what we want for the bunny ear pattern. Once those square knots are complete, if you look at it from the front of the ring, you will see that the pattern has bent towards the other side, back down to the ring. Now we're going to attach 2 of these cords onto the ring. We're just going to attach the outer left and outer right cords using vertical lark's head knots onto the ring. Pay attention to this part of the pattern since this is the trickier part of the pattern. So taking the right cord here, we're going to place it inside the ring, then to the outside on the right, and then back through. Then taking that cord end, we're going to take it outside of the ring on the left, and then with that loop at the top, we're going to thread the cord end through. And we have now made a vertical lark's head knot inside of the pattern. Now we're going to take the far left cord and do the same thing, but we're going to mirror what we did with the far right cord. So taking that cord through the inside and through the left, then we're going to take the cord end and through the outside on the right, take the cord through the loop at the top. Now here, before you fully tighten, take the cord back outside. Now you're going to have to shift the cords to tighten the knot. You should have all 4 cord ends on the outside of the ring. And the 2 lark's head knots should be facing inside of the ring this time. So we started the pattern with the lark's head knots facing the outside, and then to finish off the ears, we had made the vertical lark's head knots facing the inside so that there are 4 cords hanging on the outside of the ring. To finish off this side of the pattern here, we're going to turn the pattern to the front so that the ears are facing us, and with the 4 cords, we're going to continue with 5 consecutive square knots. And we have now completed one side of one bunny ear pattern. Now we're going to repeat the same pattern on the left side, and then we're going to connect the bunny face at the bottom. So we're just going to repeat the exact same pattern that we did on the right, but just a mirror image of it. So start by attaching the 2 cords next to it on the left, using lark's head knots, and then making 4 consecutive square knots. We're then going to switch the outer cords with the inner cords and finish with 5 continuous square knots. So this is the part where we switch the anchor cords with the working cords, and then now we make 5 consecutive square knots. So now to attach the bunny ears, we're going to attach the left cord first by taking it through the center, underneath, and through the left, and then taking it outside, and then through the loop up at the top. Make sure when you tighten, that cord is on the outside of the ring. Then we're going to take the far right cord and do the same thing, but mirroring what we just did on the left. So we take it inside, then out through the right. Then we take it in between the ear on the outside. And through the loop up at the top. And then before you fully tighten the knot, take the cord end and weave it through to the outside of the pattern, and then shift the cords to tighten the vertical lark's head knot. Now at the front of the pattern, with the 4 cords, make 5 consecutive square knots. Now we will connect the bunny ears from the left and the right with 1 large square knot. So combining the 2 sides together, we're going to take the far left and far right cords as working cords for 1 large square knot. So all the other cords are going to be anchor cords in between. This is what the bunny ears should look like once it is connected at the bottom. So now we're going to take those 4 shorter cords underneath the bunny ears, and we're going to ignore those cords and leave them behind, and there should be 4 longer cords that we're going to continue knotting with. With the 4 cords, we're going to separate them into 2 groups of 2 cords, and then with the left 2 cords, we're going to make 6 alternating half hitch knots. So we're going to make an alternating half hitch knot chain here. Starting with that inner left cord, make an alternating half hitch knot onto the left cord, then alternate using the left cord with a half hitch knot onto the right cord, and then continue that for a total of 6 half hitch knots. Now we're going to repeat the same thing on the right side, mirroring what we just did on the left. So once the alternating half hitch knot chain is complete on both sides, we're going to connect the 4 cords together with a square knot. So taking the outer left and right cords, make a square knot. Once the first chain link for the alternating half hitch knot pattern is complete, repeat for one more alternating half hitch chain below. And this is what the bunny pattern should look like. Now we're going to repeat this pattern for a total of 6 times, so 5 more times around the ring. Once you have all 6 bunny ear patterns complete around the ring, with equivalent spacing in between each of the bunny ears, this is what the pattern should look like. So turning one of the bunny patterns upside down, we're going to go back to those 4 cords that we tucked behind. What we're going to do is make a square knot about 1 inch down. Then slide the square knot to meet the square knot above, and there should be a little bow tie like pattern that forms, and this is called a square knot picot pattern. But we're just going to make one of these so that there's a cute little bow on the inside of the pattern. Once it's complete, cut off the excess cords. Then repeat this pattern on the back of every bunny pattern remaining. From the front, you can see that it sticks out on the side, and then you can also see that when you look inside the baby mobile, that there's these cute little bows at the back of the bunny ears. Once it's all complete, this is what the pattern should look like. We're now going to make a series of pom-poms. I'm going to show you how to make a macrame pom-pom, and then you can make as many as you like for your pattern. You will need 10 strands of cord at about 2 to 3 inches long. Gather them together, and then you'll need a 20 centimeter long string, and you're going to make a double overhand knot in the middle of the gathered short cords. Then you're going to split in the middle on both sides of the cords, and then turn the pattern around and make another double overhand knot with the string. Now all you have to do is comb through the cords, the fringe of the pom-pom, and then trim so that they are all the same length and that they become a round like pom-pom, like the sample one that I have at the top. The diameter of the pom-poms that I am making are about 1.5 inches. For each bunny ear pattern, you're going to need 3 pom-poms. I have 3 pom-poms in 3 different colors. I'm going to start off with this natural color, then go downwards with a gray color, and then finish off with a beige color. So once you're done the pom-pom, we're going to attach it onto one of the bunny ears. So where we had made the first large square knot to connect the bunny ear pattern, we're going to attach our first pom-pom. So using the two leftover long string from the pom-pom, we're going to make a double overhand knot at the back of the pattern. And this is the method that we're going to use to attach the rest of our pom-poms. Cut off the excess string once you have attached the pom-pom to the front of the pattern. Then we're going to do the same thing with the gray one. The next square knot down, make another double overhand knot at the back. Now make a third pom-pom in a different color or using the same color and attach it on that last square knot at the bottom. This is what the finished pom-pom pattern should look like under each bunny ear pattern. What we're going to do is we're going to tape up the ends of the 4 chords here. Make sure that the tape tapes over the 2 shorter chords at the top too. So gather the ends together and tape all 4 chord ends. Once the ends are taped together, we're going to thread through a large hole bead. Once it's threaded through, take off the tape. And now we're going to attach a tassel at the bottom of this pattern. Right underneath the bead, we're going to make an overhand knot with the bottom 4 chords. If you're only able to do it with 2 of the 4 chords, that's okay. There should be about 1 centimeter of space in between the bead and that overhand knot that we had just made. And then now we're going to cut off the excess cord underneath the overhand knot. So leave about 2 centimeters or where the shortest cord is underneath the overhand knot. Then for the tassel part of the pattern, we're going to take 8 strands of cord at about 24 centimeters long each, and we're going to comb through all 8 strands together. Once combed through, we're going to take that pink strand and place it right next to the overhand knot, about halfway to where the strand is. That's where we're going to tie the strand above the overhand knot. Try to wrap the strands around the bead and the overhand knot, and then taking a small string at about 10 centimeters long, make a double overhand knot right above the overhand knot underneath. Then spread the pink strands all the way around so that there are no spaces in between them, and then fold the top part of the pink strands downwards. Comb through the tassel and then cut off the excess string inside if that is sticking out. Then taking a 30 centimeter strand of cord, Using the same color, we're going to split the cord apart and we're going to make a gathering knot around the tassel. So make a loop with one end and hold it with one hand, then take the longer end and wrap it around several times. Then place the long end through the loop that we made in the beginning, and then pull on the top end to tighten the knot. Then all you have to do is cut off the excess cord and then pull on the fringe below the tassel to make sure that there aren't no loose cords and that your tassel looks even. Comb through the tassel and then trim the ends. And you are now complete with one section of the bunny ear tassel pattern. Repeat the section all around underneath all the bunny ear patterns. This is what the pattern should look like once all the tassels are complete. We're now going to make the feather section for the middle of the mobile. So you're going to need a strand of string at about 110 centimeters long, folded in half. We're going to make an overhand knot on the loop end of this pattern with 2 inches to spare for the loop part. Then underneath, we're going to thread through some beads, sequins, and feathers. I'm going to start by taking one sequin and I'm going to thread it through. We're going to leave about an inch of space between that overhand knot and the sequin, and we're going to make an overhand knot just above the sequin to hold it in place. Next, we're going to thread through a bead. And now taking 2 feathers, we're going to attach it onto the bottom of the bead. So leaving about an inch of space between the sequin and where we're going to attach the 2 feathers, we're going to take a strand of string at about 15 centimeters long and make a gathering knot to attach the feathers onto that string. So make a loop with one end, hold it with one hand, take the longer end and wrap it around several times. Then place it through the loop end and pull on the top end to tighten the knot. Cut off the excess cord, and now all you have to do is repeat this pattern, sequin, bead, feathers, below this string for 3 more times. Once complete, this is what the pattern should look like. So you see we have 4 sequins, 4 sets of beads, and 4 sets of feathers. Now we're going to make the handle of the baby mobile with some string. To make the handle, you're going to need a strand of string at 80 centimeters long, and fold it in half. We're going to attach it onto the side of the mobile using a lark's head knot. So in the empty sections in between the bunny ear patterns, we're going to fill this up with the lark's head knots. So once that is complete all around the ring, we're going to take our feather pattern and we're going to include it in the middle of the mobile. So holding all the strings from the handle, we're going to also hold the feather pattern in the center. Hold up the mobile so that it is even and it is not lopsided. And then what we're going to do is to hold the feather pattern and the handle in place, we're going to tape that section because we're going to thread through a bead. Once the middle section is taped with the handle, we're going to tape the ends of the handle so that we can easily thread through the bead. Taking another bead, we're going to thread it through the handle. And then take off the tape once the bead is threaded through. So once all the tape is off, make sure that the middle section is still there. It should be slightly shorter than the handles from the top. And then we're going to make an overhand knot just above the bead. Fold the handle back downwards and then we're going to make another overhand knot to make a loop for the handle of the baby mobile. Then cut off any excess string from the pattern. And that is it with the baby mobile tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I am on a baby item craze right now, so if you guys have any macrame items that you want me to make a tutorial on, let me know in the comment section below. I hope you guys were able to learn some new techniques for making macrame pom-poms, adding the tassels, or even just making the macrame bunny ears, which is a pattern that you can apply to a plant hanger or to start off a wall hanging, and it would be great for an Easter project as well. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below, and make sure if you guys haven't already, click subscribe to the channel to stay tuned for more macrame videos like this, and make sure you give this video a big thumbs up. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.